This is Cameron Stewart with the Squawk Sesh. I'm the Student Life Assistant, and today with me I have, can you introduce yourself?
Sure, my name is Melissa Herbin. I am a pre-nursing student at RCC. I will be transferring in August to a university, and I am also a participant in the TRIO Scholar Program.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Sure.
It is a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for your time. So, how did you find out about TRIO?
So I actually found out about TRIO when I went to the student orientation
Okay.
last, I want to say maybe April or May, where you get a college tour of the campus and how everything works. There was actually a TRIO representative that was there, and um, basically they were just going over like financial aid and scholarships and what's available here. And what really piqued my interest was with the TRIO program, they advised that a lot of people don't take advantage of it. So, that piqued my interest, and I started looking into it, and I was like, so why don't people take advantage of this? And Hannah or Mr. Albright, one of them said they just don't make the time. And it's really not that much time that you have to put into it, in regards to, essays. You don't have to write an essay every couple of weeks or anything like that. And from that day forward, I just signed in and been working with Hannah and Mr. Albright since. And it's been a great experience.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. So, I have a few more questions. So, can you access it online, or like how do you go to TRIO do you go every day? Like, how often do you go? What's the commitment look like? Or just kind of.
So it really just depends on the person. So they do have a TRIO lab that is located in the Advanced Technologies building. Most of the time you do have to go, well, all of the time you do have to go through orientation just to get a better understanding of exactly what the program is, what you're looking for through the program and how they can support you. Now, sometimes if you're in a situation where like you work full time, you can just reach out to like Hannah or Mr. Albright, and they will see what accommodations they can make for you. So that way you're not limited to not being able to take advantage of the program. And so you go to the Advanced Technologies building, you go through orientation, and it's only like an hour or 2 hours, and then going forward you can go online. So they do workshops that are online. Yes, they send out emails. Some of them are in the Advanced Technologies building. So like I said, it kind of works for everybody. So you can go, you can sign up for the workshop, attend it via Zoom, on your phone or your computer, or they even have them at the actual TRIO lab. So whatever works best for you, you just sign up for it and you attend the meeting, and that's where you learn the good stuff like testing tips and financial literacy, how to study, what works best for you. There's some really good workshops.
Wow. Well, thank you. It's amazing that they offer that online. That is really good. Can you share your experience with the TRIO program and how it impacted your college journey?
So TRIO has really impacted me because they've helped me in so many ways that I never imagined they could. So personally for me, I dropped out of college 18 years ago because I was a mom, I was a single mom, and it just was too much at the time. So finally my kids grew up, and I was scared when I came to student orientation. It's just me, my parents aren't with me, you have all these young kids, and when I got in TRIO, we're kind of like a family. So like, if I don't know something, or if I need tutoring and something, like they prepare you for that. They tell you ahead of time, like through orientation, if you need tutoring or something, let us know. And if they don't have like tutoring for something, they will, which is very rare, but I was in anatomy and physiology, and I reached out. But what they did was they was like, we don't have anything at the current time, but we will have something in the near future. So now they have, tutoring for biology. So it's really a good program where they give you the support you need. So, I've never been a type of person that needs support. I've always been like a go-getter to want to do better for myself. But they are there to give you every single resource that you need to be successful, whether it be this college information, this is what you need to do. Tours, the tours are wonderful. Like when we go on the tours with the colleges, we actually sit in and listen to everything about that college. Then when we're done, we might go grab lunch or something, and then we discuss, like, what we liked, what we didn't like as a whole. And that is a lot for support. Something that you may not think about, but Hannah says, or Mr. Albright, or, you have Colby. He also works with Trio. He's great. But it's really just a support for me. Like, you don't get that, I think, in any other program in college.
I love how you talked about, like, how it was like a family, a community, and it makes you feel more supported while you're here. So what's a specific support service or resource that you found the most valuable?
I would say the college tours. They have tours where you can go same day and come back. Usually they'll send out an email and let everybody know, so they have enough room for everybody. But when we went on the college tour in Washington, D.C., that really just opened my eyes. Like, we're from a small town, so I'm like, community college, university, whatever. At the end of the day, it's a degree. But when we went up there and toured, it was Georgetown University, and that was a private university. Like, that is totally different from here. So it gives you, the tours, like, really give you the information as to, can it go this way? Can I be accepted? So what we ended up doing is they had a lot of diversity there, but they only had a 12% acceptance rate. And that is like, when we seen that, we were like, they accept nobody there. But they, that we did the tour, and they took us around the college and was talking about how kids eat for free there, and you got some type of card, which is good, but I never knew that it was, you see this big, beautiful building and all these campuses and all these programs, and then during the meeting, well, we only accept 12% of applicants. So that really, really opened up my eyes to see, stuff that you don't know or you think you know, like, there's always something more to learn.
Thank you. So you say that, like, they organize trips for, like, interested campuses. Like, do you guys, like, how does that work? Or do you have, like, tours often is the best way to say it?
Yes. So off the top of my head, I would say we have a tour every month. So it's not something that, and they want your input too. Oh. So that's the good thing. So when we come back from a tour, you take a survey. You tell them in the survey, which is anonymous, what you like, what you didn't like, what would you do to improve. And there's also a question on there, are there any colleges that we haven't offered that you would like to tour? So I think that is another good thing with the program. It's not limited to what they want or what they think would be good. We went to, after Washington, D.C., we went to Appalachian State. That was a really good experience. They do tours at UNCW, ECW. They, like, whatever works best for you, they'll make it happen.
So they're very good with feedback. They work with the students on what they want to see. That's why we love our TRIO program.
Yes. Yes.
So another question is, how is pursuing in the TRIO, you kind of answered this one, but it's basically asking how the TRIO program helped you overcome challenges or obstacles in pursuing your higher education.
So as far as, like, overcoming challenges, I think it's just really the support system. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm not the type of person to say I would need support, because I understand what my goals are, but I'm not perfect. And if I don't understand something, or if I just don't, I'm having a bad day, I can always reach out to Hannah or Mr. Albright or Mr. McIntyre. We call him Mr. Mac. I'm also in his chemistry class, but you can reach out to them, and it's not like you have to wait 2 to 3 business days for a reply. 2 to 3 business days down the road, I might be better by then. But that's the main thing, just being there and supporting you and letting you know that even when it gets tough, it's not the worst day of your life. You still will get where you need to be, and they'll give you support, encouragement, workshops, whatever is needed for your need at that time.
Can you describe a memorable moment or achievement that Trio has helped you with during your educational journey?
Yes, so the first one that comes to mind is going to be the Washington, D.C. trip. During that trip, well, let me say, we met here at like early in the morning, and some people don't go on the trips or, haven't met each other. So it was kind of ironic, but we all met here. We got to know each other. We networked. We got to DC, and once we got checked into our room, we were able to go to the African American Museum for history and culture. So it wasn't just like a regular museum. Like when we got there, there were some some dance students that were there from Winston-Salem. That was like a dance club. So they were dancing, and we got to watch them. Then it was, I want to say, 3 or 4 stories of just artifacts and actors. What else was it? Astronauts. Just the African American culture. It was also about like when during the slave history, Harriet Tubman, like just any and everything that happened during history. It was on each different level. But the main thing that I love the best about that, and it's probably just because of what I'm majoring in, but I thought it was so neat to see they had the uniform and the shoes of the first Black American nurse. And they had it in a box on the wall, and the name and, how they contributed to the medical society. But it was like that with everything. Like, the first car owner, the first musician, they even had George Floyd in there, and Trayvon Martin. They had a history of them and what transpired with them. So I thought that was probably one of the best experiences that I personally could go through, going to Washington, D.C. Then we left there, and the next day we went to, or it might have been that same day. No, the next day we went to Georgetown University. Mm-hmm. And that was an experience. It was beautiful outside. They had a little dog that was their motto, but it was really a real dog, and it was a bulldog. And if you are a freshman there, you're required to stay on campus. Mm-hmm. And something that stuck out to me that I thought was really, I don't want to say weird, but something that I haven't heard at a lot of college tours, was they actually have a chaplain that lives on the dorm that you can go to, like, for religious support. So I thought that was neat, because you don't really see that a lot.
In what way has Trio supported you with academic guidance during your school and your time here every semester throughout the year?
So the guidance and support for my specific studies has been amazing. Like I said, you have Hannah and Mr. Albright that is always there to answer questions and provide the guidance. One thing that I do want to note is, like, when I ask for help, it's not a response that says you need to do this or you need to do that. And I think that really makes a difference. It's always, well, you could do it this way, or you could do it this way, or you even have this option available. And that's what I love, is like, it's not a just straight down the line, you got to do this. Mr. Albright and Hannah give you options. Like, you can go this way, you can go that way, or, you have a couple of ways of doing it to tackle the task. And that means a lot to me, because I'm not just a white and gray person. Like, I'm a A, B, C, D. If this doesn't happen, I got plan B, plan C, and plan D.
That's really good. I like the flexibility. How has TRIO program helped you navigate the college application and admission process?
So they are there to assist with any issues. Like I said, you really don't have to wait like 2 to 3 business days. You can call them if you're having an issue. You can leave a voicemail. You can send an email. But as far as issues go, I really haven't had issues on my end other than maybe like a question here or there. But what I can say is if you are a part of TRIO, you get access to like early registration. So whereas like for the summer semester, that started on April the 8th, but the TRIO team did send out a reminder, hey guys, y'all take advantage of early registration, and because you're in TRIO, you can go ahead and reach out. Now, if you have any issues, what they will try their best to fix it, and if it's not something like that's under their umbrella, they'll give you the contact of who to call to fix it. I did have some type of issue when I was applying for other scholarships, and Mr. Albright gave me the information of who to reach out to and just to follow up with them until that's fixed. It was actually a broken link on the website, but ultimately Mr. Albright couldn't fix it, but he gave me the information that I needed to obtain an answer for that specific scholarship.
So, what advice would you give to other students who are interested in TRIO, or they're just on the edge of deciding whether to be joining TRIO? Maybe they're nervous, maybe they think, oh, that's not for me, or just all the list above, like whatever reason it could be. What would you tell them right now?
So I would say join. I don't think that, I think TRIO is underrated, and there is a lot of, not just with the support with your academics, but like the financial literacy workshops. That teaches you about credit. That teaches you about budgeting. That may not be something that you're going to use specifically in like a chemistry class or English, but it's a life skill that you can utilize, while you're in college or once you get out of college. I think another good point is the fact that a lot of universities participate in TRIO. So, for example, since I was accepted in the nursing program at A&T University, and I'll start in August, but they also have the TRIO program. So now that I've completed all my prerequisites here, when I start there in August, I'll just be transferring the TRIO information from RCC to A&T University. And that was a big one for me. Like, instead of having to go over there and start all over, like, they actually are in contact with the TRIO people that are at other universities. When we went to Georgetown University and George Washington University, we met up with the TRIO people from that university. And that's another good support, is the fact that even if you want to get your bachelor's degree, like, this is something you can take to the next college or university.
Congratulations
Thank
on getting
you.
into A&T.
Thanks.
So could you tell me a little bit about your journey, about how you chose A&T, and maybe about how RCC helped you get to your next goal through TRIO?
Okay, sure. So, as far as RCC goes, RCC is very flexible for me. I work a full-time job, and I still have one child that's at home. He'll graduate high school in June. But he is in sports, so, as far as like coming to the classroom, that wasn't an option for me. So the flexibility of being able to take online classes is really what worked for me. And, as well as TRIO, some of the workshops are in the lab, but some of them are online. So, they're during the day. So I can attend a 1 hour meeting and get very much good information that I need. Like, something that I learned through what TRIO offered was there's different type of learners. So there was actually a test to figure out if you are a visual learner or if you're the type of learner or different type. And I didn't even know that was a thing. So, being able to utilize that resource and see, okay, I'm a visual learner. So this is the way that I can retain information the most. Had Trio not offered a workshop like that, I'd still be trying to wing it and study with flashcards and write and do everything else other than the visual part of it and helping retain information.
So, what is your favorite study method?
My favorite study method I learned from Mr. Burnett from A&P, too, and also Trio. Study shorter. So, and I didn't even think that was a thing until it worked for me. So, when I was in A&P 1, my instructor would talk for 45 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes, and I would literally just sit there, and this was online, and I would take notes. Sometimes, what you have the ability to pause when you do online, so you can write down. So that's another good thing. But it would take me 2 and 3 hours just to make sure that I'm writing down all the good information, I'm getting everything in. So I ended up that semester with a C, which I wasn't too happy about, but that was my first going back to college after 18 years. So,
Right.
It wasn't too bad, I guess you could say. But when I took Mr. Burnett's class, he said the trick to retaining information in your memory is not just, for some people, flashcards work. For some people, just writing down the same thing works. But he said the main thing is studying in shorter periods. So his lectures would be 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then you go take a walk outside or, go shopping, whatever you want to do. When you come back to it, the next lecture is 10, 15, 20 minutes. And that type of studying, the short-term memory studying, is what helped me retain it more. And when it comes to like the Trio and test taking workshops, they give you criteria or information that says for some people that works better, and it helps you retain the information more rather than if you're just sitting here and mentally tired because you've listened to a lecture for 2 hours and then you got to dedicate 3 hours tomorrow to study for it. Like it does not work for some people. And that's what helped me be successful was Mr. Burnett giving that information, and then Trio basically giving you the tools of that test taking and how to retain. Like those two combined together made a tremendous difference.
Well, you just taught me a study tip that I need to start using.
It's really good.
So, how did Trio Services help you build your connections between faculty, staff, just class members around you? How did it help?
So I have met some really great people at Trio that provided me the support that I needed to reach out to my professors, build a relationship with them, and not only the professors, but the students in Trio, other students. Networking is extremely important. And, when you're, personally for me, when I was younger, I didn't think that networking, meant anything. But the older that I am and the more resources that I see available through Trio, through professors, through friends, opens up so many more doors than if I just stay in my own bubble, I guess you could say.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, telling us about Trio. Do you have any last things that you want to tell anybody, any links or anything you want to share with anybody watching?
So the only thing that I would leave you guys with is definitely take advantage of Trio. It is a really great resource. It's not something that you're graded on every day. They work at their own pace. So, if you take a small little test that tells you where you can improve, definitely utilize it. Utilize the college tours. You'll even take classes. You could potentially take a class where you have to do a research on a college tour. I actually have to do that by the end of the semester, and I'm like, thank God for Trio, because, I have that experience from the college tours we went on rather than having to go do a college tour. That's actually one of the assignments. So I would just say, take advantage of it. It's free money, free workshops, free everything, and the support that they offer is it's not like anything else at RCC, in my opinion.
Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for joining us. Tune in next time. Thank you. And if you're interested in joining Trio, contact us today. Thank you so much.